Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. My name's Robin Fritz. It's been a while since I've been here online, and I started on the wrong page. So I hope you can join me or watch this video later in the archives. It has been almost a month since I've done a live video with Om Times, and a lot has happened in that month. And today I want to do two things. I want to talk about why and how the coronavirus is affecting our animals and us and what we can do about it. Hi, Neer. Thanks for joining me. I actually started on my own page. So I wanted to talk about how the virus affects us, how it's affecting our animals, and why that matters. And I'm going to tell you that as a result of that, I am offering a free online mentoring program. I've been meaning to start this since January, but I have literally been sick for 2.5 months. And it's going to be free, and it's going to start June 22nd. And tag me on my Facebook page, Robin M. Fritz, or if I already have your email, I will email you about it. So let me get started today. My name is Robin Fritz. I'm an intuitive and spiritual consultant and past life regression specialist based in Seattle, Washington. And we have all been living in a new world. And I want to tell you a little bit about what that means. My family is animals. My dog Ollie is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. He will be 5 the end of July. And I have a Russian blue cat, Karis, who's 3. So when we all shut down, when the world shut down because of the coronavirus, people were afraid and upset, and they still are. And that is enough reason why our animals who have different DNA than us and are, genetically predators, most of them, respond to changes in energy that we don't always recognize because we're just a little bit more cut off from those things. So if you're upset or if you're ill, your animals will pick up on that unease and they will carry it around. But I did not realize, and sorry, I still cough, so if I have to stop and cough, don't worry. I did not have the virus. I just did something we couldn't get a handle on. So I'm out with my dog Ollie every day, 5 times a day. I live in a neighborhood in Seattle that has since been closed off to traffic, so we have lots of room to exercise in. And Ollie, as a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, has a huge fan club, and he adores people. And he's a dog that ever since we first started walking on the street would literally stop and dig his feet in the ground and wait for somebody a half a block away to get up to him because he would always get petted and he would always be able to kiss people. And of course, we're not letting anyone touch our animals these days. But Ollie was literally driving me crazy on the street because we'd be walking down the street and he'd plant his feet and he'd be unable and he was afraid. And he was afraid and he would dash out into the street. And of course, I have him on a short leash, but still he's trying to pull into the street. It really disturbed me. And I thought it was because his fan club couldn't pet him anymore. But it didn't explain why he was afraid. Well, I do various kinds of intuitive work, and one of those is animal communication. And I started getting calls from clients who were having the same problems with their dogs that I was having, or cats that were disappearing and not coming home at night. I can't explain why people let their cats run loose, but that's another question. And I was disturbed because these dogs were behaving the same way as Ollie. They were terrified with no reason to be terrified, in terms of normal daily life, except for the one thing that we're all facing. So I called a friend that I work very closely with, following the motto that doctors do not treat their own family members, so that we could talk with Ollie together, because I started to have a feeling for what was going on for 2 reasons, and I'll explain why. So when we talked with Ollie, we found out that he was afraid of the virus. And why? Because he can hear it. And I can hear it too. And that, people, is terrifying. So there are many things that I have come across in my years as an intuitive, in my years as an ambassador to the planet, working with land and weather systems, working with the planet herself, work that nobody pays me for, and that I've been doing for a long time now. Um, and what I discovered as I tuned in was that I had been deliberately tuning out. I had not been paying attention to the virus. Now, I am not afraid of it. A lot of us are not afraid of it. We know that our government and our health systems are doing the best they can. And we need to just continue to lead our lives following the new guidelines so that everyone can stay healthy, so that our healthcare system, which is not geared up for this kind of thing, can survive the onslaught of seriously ill people. But our animals can hear the virus. I can hear it. And you can hear two things if you tune in, and I'm not advising you to do that. I'm advising you to listen to me and believe what I say, is that it is eating its way through the planet. And you can hear it eating. And you can hear it saying to the animals and to us, if we wanted to listen, I'm going to eat you. Well, not a good thing. And we will defeat this virus and we will move on and we will learn a lot from it. And it's interesting, as all of us have watched around the world over the last number of months, and especially most recently the last month, how people are starting to step up and realize that we're not walking into the old world, we're walking into a new world, and we can change the terms of how we live in it. And that's a good thing. And I'm not saying the virus is a good thing. I'm saying our response to it is a good thing. So here's the second thing that I wanted to share with you today. As I get back into doing weekly broadcasts, and if I ever get control of this cough and the hoarseness, and that is that there are a lot of people who claim to be intuitives out there who are spreading the most outrageous conspiracy theories. And I just have to shake my head. These are ungrounded people. They honestly do not know what they're talking about. And I'm hoping you don't fall into that category, or that if you're there, that you can look at it with open eyes. Fear does strange things to people. And if you feel that you've lost control, then one of the things you're going to do is blame it on somebody else. So they're out to get us. They're out to take away our rights. And that's not true. They're out to save your life. So I have been working with clients who are afraid, and they're thinking their intuition is guiding them to do this, when in fact it's not. It's guiding them to look at the virus as one thing, and that the situations in their life currently as another thing. And we're all, I hope, doing some reflecting in this period of being isolated. I personally have not touched or hugged another human since the first weekend in March. I have my two animals. I see people on the street or occasionally in the store when I go out. I know how isolating this is, but it is also a perfect opportunity for us to learn how to use our intuition properly, especially in a crisis. And I have been planning to offer an online mentoring class since the first of the year, and I was going to charge for it. And it's like, no, I'm not going to charge for it. It is free. It's going to start June 22nd at noon. So every Monday, I'm doing a Facebook Live at 11 a.m. And at noon, we're doing our online mentoring class. If you're interested, let me know on my Facebook page, The Practical Intuitive, Robin M. Fritz. Again, it's free. And what are we going to be doing? I'm going to be setting up a separate page, which will also have information on all my books, especially my upcoming book, which has been ready to go for a while, but like, who wants to read about the afterlife during a pandemic, right? So I've delayed putting that out. And yes, I do have a sense of humor. So we're going to be learning how to use our intuition, our specific intuitive abilities. I'm going to be doing live readings in the class. We're going to be doing readings for each other. I'm going to teach you about grounding and balance, because all those people who are putting out conspiracy theories have a lot to learn about energy boundaries and being grounded and balanced. And some of them are people I know, so I have to say I'm just sorry that's where they're going. But we're also going to be learning about hands-on energy healing, because the truth of the matter is we are all innately intuitive. We are all innately healers, and we just need to learn how to use those skills. So we're going to be covering everything. I'll give you exercises on how to get yourself grounded and balanced. There'll be no meditation in this class, because meditation does not teach you anything about intuition. And we need to be practical now and guide ourselves and each other and depend on our real source, our spiritual teams, and the planet we live on, our conscious evolving planet. So I want to thank you for joining me today. Yes, I know you're in, and I'm going to be spreading this across Facebook and so on, so that people can see this. And I have a list of people who are going to be joining us. It's going to be fun. So I want to thank you today. I want to thank Om Times, Humanity Healing, Om Times Magazine. Great people, a wonderful source of comfort and information in these times. And let's come together. The one thing we all need to do is, again, work really hard on loving ourselves, loving each other, loving the planet, looking at life as equal, whatever it is, human, animal, tree, windstorm, desk, brand new computer system, cars, the buildings that we live in, everything. We are all equal. We are all souls, having chosen a particular body we are in to do our job right now on the planet. My job is as guardian, and I am stepping back into that role, and I will be happy to work with you. Sasha, okay, will there be a replay? Yes, absolutely. I'm figuring that out. Like I said, I've been sick for 2.5 months. So what do you do when you're sick for 2.5 months? You clean 20 years worth of files. So yes, Sasha, thank you for asking. Figuring that all out. Plus, we're going to have a Facebook page where we can share, and hopefully you will create new friendships. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your name instead of the camera. New friendships here where we can share online. The one thing that I ask is that you be patient with yourselves, with each other, with me. These are trying times that we are living in, and they are tremendous. And these times are a tremendous opportunity for you to grow in your innate skill set. We have not been abandoned. We have help. Help is on the way, and our planet is ready to assist us. So let's get busy and help our planet. So spread the word, Sasha, Nir, and anyone who's watching this. I will be posting here, but also on my page, The Practical Intuitive. And so I want to thank you for joining us today. I leaped right in. I didn't do a grounding and balancing exercise, but here we can end by crossing your hands on your heart, which is really a way of getting grounded, but also continuing to do energy work. So if you breathe into your hands, imagine that you're breathing in healthy energy, which is all around you. And then you can just raise them and allow that energy to go where it will. One thing we'll discuss in the class is how energy is sentient. Yes, sentient, and what that means. So hands on your heart, and then breathe that in and allow yourself to get regrounded and rebalanced. Practice that this week. Sasha, hit me up on my page, The Practical Intuitive, and give me your email address so that I can put you on the list. And we'll see you next week at 11 a.m. here at Om Times Magazine. Thank you. Take care.